Hey guys, it's Jeremy here at Metal Music Meltdown, back with another video. What I have for today, guys, is an album review for the latest from Holycide. Really cool thrash band out of Madrid, Spain. I picked up one of their albums a couple of years ago entitled, entitled Fist to Face. It was a 2020 release. I bought it blindly through CD and Records just as an impulse buy, just because the album cover looks so badass and pure thrash. So I had to pick it up, and I wasn't wrong. It was a really good album. So super pumped to hear that they had a new album coming out this year. And thanks to Mark over at Metal Never Dies. Definitely check out his channel. On one of his recent videos, he even announced that this was an album he was looking forward to in June. And I wasn't even aware they had a new album coming out this year. So thank you, Mark, for bringing that to my attention. And I knew it was definitely an album I wanted to check out and review. So the new album, like I said, is called Towards Idiocracy, just released on June the 6th, 2024 through Extreme Music. And the album has 10 tracks in total. Runtime is just under 39 minutes. Beginning with the album cover, doesn't get more beautiful than that, guys. Like, that's pure thrash metal. Killer logo, bright colors, killer imagery. It's got the guy with the flamethrower, a vigilante kind of looking guy. If you look at it closely, you can see a bunch of people on their cell phones. So I'm assuming it's kind of, referring to the current society we live in, where people are just living on their phone and just like not looking up, not living life. And this is the guy kind of torching the whole current society kind of situation. And really cool artwork though. They're fucking killer. Like, doesn't get more thrash than that. Love the album cover. And like I said, 10 tracks in total. On first listen, I really enjoyed it. It was kind of a continuation of the previous album. Really solid riffs, straight to the point, balls out thrash, high intensity throughout the whole album. Not really too much slow stuff on here at all. Mostly high intensity. Some mid-pace songs here and there, but overall, relentless all the way through. About 39 minutes in length, like I said. Beginning with the production, on first couple listens, I thought it was a little murky sounding. I thought the instruments could have had a little bit more division in the mix. They kind of blended a bit on from time to time, but after a couple more listens, especially with headphones, it was a little bit better. But I just wish there was a little bit more division in the instrumentation to hear a little bit more crisp. But overall, pretty good production. Overall, it wasn't thin or anything. I just wish there was a little bit more division in the instruments and the vocals as well. At times in a couple of the songs, I thought the vocals were a little bit back in the mix, in my opinion, but not too bad. It wasn't like completely lost, but a little bit back in the mix. Opening track, AI Supremacy. Pretty solid opener, high intensity thrash song. The first two songs, that one and Towards Idiocracy, the title track, there's a couple of riffs on those songs that I wasn't really a big fan of. They kind of sounded disjointed and kind of chaotic in a way, but not necessarily in a good way. Those were the two weakest songs, in my opinion, on the album. AI Supremacy was better, is pretty good, but the second track, Towards Idiocracy, I wasn't a big fan of, to be honest. Something about the riffs in that song just kind of didn't sit well with me. But the rest of the album was really high intensity, just really straight up thrash, new generation thrash metal. I believe the second half of the album was definitely a lot stronger than the first half. Some of my standard tracks were Angry for Nothing, had a really cool groove in it, a little bit more mid-pace on parts as well. But that was a standard track for me. Chemical Dependency is an Atrophy cover. I thought they did a really good job. Super high intensity song, and I love that song. And the Pleased to Be Deceived was a really cool song as well. Had a really cool drum intro at the beginning, and then really cool solo near the end. And the other tracks in the middle, Power Corrupts, Technophobia, and Life is a New Truth, Remote Control. All really high intense thrash songs, good riffing. I found the songwriting to be a little bit chaotic at times. I'm hoping in the future they kind of refine their songwriting to have them a little bit more structured, a little bit more together, I guess is the word. I found it a little bit chaotic at times. But overall, really solid album. I listened to it about 4 or 5 times in length in total. Definitely an album I'll be picking up for sure. It's a good straight up thrash album. Nothing much more to say than that. For in terms of a rating, I'd give it a solid 7.5 out of 10. That was pretty strong, Just a couple tracks at the beginning didn't quite stand out for me. Just the one really, the Towards Idiocracy, I didn't really like as much. First song was okay, but a couple riffs in there were kind of weird. But the rest of the album is really solid, high intensity, a couple good mid-pace bar burners. But yeah, just a really solid album. So let me know down below, guys, what you thought of the album, comparing it to the previous albums, if you have heard those. I think it was a good continuation, a good step forward for the band. And it's definitely one I'll be picking up, hopefully soon. So thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more great content, and keep it metal.